Stephanie from Milkshed, and I am here with my latest yarn chat. It is very late. It's like 9 o'clock Sunday night, and I have been avoiding this all day. Not because I didn't want to do it, but because I have just like so much stuff to go through. I have no idea how I'm going to get through everything, and I don't know how long this is going to be. We've been traveling a ton, so I'm kind of scattered, but I mowed the lawn today, and then I showered afterwards and like kind of cleaned myself up, so I feel obligated to actually film this today. So I just kind of want to talk about what I've been up to. I don't have many finished projects, but I do have a ton of projects in the works right now. And then my stash has like doubled in size, but I did not buy it all. But I'll talk all about that. I have gotten into spinning. I mean, just so many things to go through. So yeah, let's just get to it. I had my contacts in earlier, and then I put my glasses on because I figured I wasn't actually going to record this. And now I feel like there's like a weird reflection, but I don't know. So first things first, my background is obviously different. I won't even get into it. I was going to like talk all about it, but I won't waste time. I've just moved my office around, so I wasn't really planned for this. So sorry if my background's not very interesting. You can kind of see my office. Once it's in better shape, I'll do like some sort of little tour and explain everything that's back there. And I'm going to try and minimize the reflection going on in my glasses, and hopefully it won't get too dark here. We'll see how all this goes. We'll survive. I'm sure it'll be fine. So first things first is what we have been up to. I talked about it on the blog, but Alan and Alan's my husband, took a trip to Michigan recently. Now that I think about it, that was probably 2.5, 3 weeks ago now. We knew we wanted to get out there to pick up our Airstream, and we knew it was going to be some kind of, sometime in May. And then my best friend in Michigan, her sister, still invites me to things, which is adorable. I mean, that's so sweet because she knows I'm not going to be able to come. But she invited me on Facebook to like a surprise birthday thing. And we started looking at the dates, and I was like, this could work out really well. So we decided to structure our trip around that, around surprising my best friend for her birthday. So the drive to Michigan is 24 hours each way. It's like 2 full days of driving each way. The trip out there, we had like an ATV and that we were taking to my parents. It was in the back of our truck. And we hit a blizzard, we hit rain, we hit construction, you name it, we hit it. So we left on Thursday. We spent the night in Nebraska on like Friday, something like 1 a.m. or something. And then I think we pulled into Michigan at 4 a.m. Michigan time. And then I was awake at 9 a.m. to go run around and do fun things with my mom. Oh, the light just changed. Hopefully it stays that way. We'll see. So the reason that I mentioned running errands with my mom is that I wanted to go to yarn shops. And we ended up going to 3 yarn shops, and unfortunately they didn't go so well, but I will get into that in a little bit. That night, that afternoon, Alan slept in a little bit because he does almost all the driving. Then we went down to see my older brother, his wife, and my niece and nephew at their place. They did a little barbecue. And then that night, we surprised my best friend. We went to dinner. We went to a really cool show. I mean, just running around like crazy. Saturday, we went to see my grandmother. And then I think my parents convinced us to stay 1 extra day because we had been running around like non-stop. So we stayed a day to get the Airstream all road ready, and then we headed back. The trip back was worse than the trip out there. I think it took like 32 hours. It was like there, see a ton of people really, really fast, back. That's all it was. And then I think we were home for like 2.5 days when Alan had to go to Salt Lake City for 4 days of technical training for work, like our real work, our business. we own the business, and then I'm like the sales and operations side, and he's like the technical service side. So he had a 4-day training. He passed it with flying colors, which was great, but that meant that he was gone, like, he left Monday, and then he was gone Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, came back Saturday. Okay, so that was like last week. And then we were home for 3 days, and we had to go to Cheyenne, which is in Wyoming, but it's like 7 hours from us. We had to go to Cheyenne for a 1-day training for work as well, and this is one that I wanted to go to. So we ended up leaving Wednesday. We had training all day Thursday, and then because we've been like running around, barely seeing each other, we decided to spend an extra night and have like a free day on Friday to, I mean, if you're going to drive 7 hours for like a 1-day thing, we decided to make more of a trip out of it and run around. We ended up going down to Fort Collins in Colorado, and then we drove home yesterday, got home at like 6 o'clock, and today's Sunday. So you know now my life story for the past like 3 weeks. It has just been wild. We normally don't even leave Wyoming like ever. Not only do we not leave Wyoming, we like don't leave our little town unless it's to go to Walmart, which is like a 150-mile round trip. So it has just been crazy lately. I don't like when people say that they're busy, because this is the life that we chose for ourselves. We're not like, oh my God, so busy. It's just kind of the way things are right now. And then things are actually going really well at work. So it's been wild, but it's been good. So I feel like now we can finally kind of settle. We are going to be taking another trip to Las Vegas at the end of July. That's also work related, but other than that, it should hopefully be a quiet summer. The Airstream's back, so we can get going on that. All these fun things. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is kind of like business-y related to the blog, and that is that when I started all this, I just like started it on a whim. Most of you know me, I would think originally from the blog, which is called Milkshed. And then I just like started YouTube. I used my personal information, like my Instagram, my Twitter, all that silly stuff is all just like under my personal name. And I finally decided to start like transitioning everything over to Milkshed or Milkshed blog, some kind of version that was a little more intuitive, and so that it would also create this separation from Milkshed and from my personal stuff. And it's, I mean, really the reason for that is because my primary business is tied to my personal stuff. And like, I love blogging, I love YouTube, I love all of this. But if anything were to ever interfere with that bit, I mean, our lives are like tied to that business. If anything were to, I mean, I don't want to be like really negative, but if anything were to cross over in a negative way, like this stuff would be shut down overnight. That business will always win out. And I just felt like for me, I felt a little better if there was a little separation between the two. So the good part of that is that you won't find me like under these random names anymore. I'm going to try and make it really straightforward. And try and get everything, you know, looking similar. It's all going to be good. So I will hopefully right here insert where you can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, my blog, on Ravelry. I know that Twitter's like the thing and people are into it. I don't get it. I'm on there. You can follow me if you want to, but I mostly just like retweet comedians. I don't do anything like original and awesome on there, but I'll include all that information right here, so it's really easy to find me from now on. There we go. So let's talk about yarn and projects and this crazy stash I got going on now. My cup today, I mean, it's like 9:15 right now. I'm not drinking coffee. There's no way. I have this like, where is it? This like University of Michigan. It says "Hail to the Victors," and "Go Blue." I went to University of Michigan. It's like a basketball net. I think like Arby's does these every now and then, and my parents try and like get them for me because they know that I love them. These are like the best cups ever, even though they're not very like hip. So I guess I want to talk about those yarn shops that I went to. So I'm not going to name the names because even though I didn't have a very good experience, I would never like outwardly trash a yarn shop. I would never want to do that, but I just didn't really have, we went to 3 shops like back to back and did not really have a good experience at any of them, which is such a bummer. So the things I was looking for is fiber, like braids of beautiful dyed fiber, and a drop spindle, because you guys have been talking about spinning so much. I just like couldn't avoid it anymore. I was like, I got to figure out spinning. We're going to start spinning. And then I'm always looking for like a beautiful fingering or sock, something that I can make a shawl from, socks from, whatever it may be. I have become interested in starting to make garments, like sweaters, pullovers, cardigans for myself. So I was looking for like sweater quantities of like affordable, like a Cascade 220 or equivalent, something that I could get a good amount of yardage at a good price because I'm still learning. And then, metal needles. I finally decided that I'm so happy with those Addy Turbo Lace and the Knitter's Pride Nova Platina that I wanted to go full metal. So I feel like that's a huge range of stuff. I wasn't like looking to just blow money, but I had a lot of things on my mind that I wanted to pick up. And I've told you before how like I kind of use yarn shops as like my way of sightseeing. So I went in like ready to go, and it just didn't happen. So the first shop that we went into, it was kind of like digging through somebody's basement. It was like cluttered, like less yarn in there than I have in like my personal stash, which I got a lot of yarn, but I'm not a yarn shop. And then lovely owner. Oh, she was very friendly. She was great. No problem there. But it was just like there was like nothing there. I did end up buying some stuff. So what I ended up buying was a drop spindle, but it was like literally the only one. Like they had one, and that is the one that I got. I don't want to show it too much because I'm going to talk about fiber in a little bit, but it's just like an Ashford, there we go, student drop spindle. And I have been talking to some of my spinning buddies, and they have since told me that this is actually kind of like a pretty heavy spindle to start with. So I've been going on it, but I just would have liked a few more options. The other thing that I picked up, I no yarn, nothing that I was into, but I did with interchangeable needles, there's usually like the smallest size that you can get is like for my knit picks, it's a size 4 is the smallest interchangeable size you can get. Anything smaller than that is fixed. So I was looking for smaller size metal needles to use for like socks, and what I ended up picking up, I'll do this one first. So this is the Knitter's Pride Nova Cubics. It's a size 1.5. It's a 24-inch cord. That is, there we go. I'm just covering like this label. I don't know why. These are actually on a project right now, and it's going really well. I really like these. These were like, I would have preferred a cord longer than 24 inches, I suspected when I was looking at these, and now that I've been using them, I can confirm I would prefer a cord longer than 24 inches. But these are really great. These were like under $8, so I'm really happy with those. And then the other one, I have heard this pronounced Chia and Chiao Gu. It's the Chiao Gu premium stainless steel. These are also a fixed circular. These are a size 0, and I want to show you guys these because I've heard such good things about these cords, and I haven't tried them yet, but I can already tell like the cord has like no memory, beautiful, nice pointed tips. And then I noticed that these are actually bent, and I'm guessing that's for like comfort. It kind of like sits nicely in your hands. I don't know. I haven't tried these yet, but I'm really excited too. So that is what I got at the first place. So, you know, some good, some bad. The second place was in like a bustling area, lots of foot traffic. When my mom and I walked up to the store, it said appointment only, or it opened at noon. And I was blown away by that. You know, everything is online these days, and I just cannot believe that there's a store that can survive opening at noon. That just seems crazy to me. So we couldn't even go. I was really excited for it. Total bummer. Couldn't even go. So the third place we went, it was kind of more of a craft type shop. They had fiber, but it was small amounts. It was for like needle felting. And I thought about picking up a few different types of fiber just so I could kind of try spinning and figure out what I liked. But that, you know, I wasn't going to get any kind of usable yardage off those little pieces of fiber. And it just felt kind of wasteful. Not a lot of brands I recognized, no needles I was into. But the one thing that I found that I have since become very excited about is this yarn. I looked this up because I was so happy with it. This is called Crazy. It is by Stonehenge. I think it's Stonehenge Fiber Mill, which is a Michigan company. It is merino wool, 230 yards. I got 2 of them. This one's been caked up. This stuff is I love it. I love it so much. So I have started on this project, and I think I've decided that, I don't really know what to do. It's so fantastic. I wish I had a sweater quantity. I wish I'd just gone wild, but these are unique. Like this skein is not the same as the one down here, and I spent a lot of time being like, do these go together? Trying to find like the 2 closest. So this one's a little darker, and then this is what I'm working up here. It's a really simple shawl, and it's gonna have a lace edge, and I like the pattern. I like it a lot, but I'm wondering if maybe the yarn is more special than the pattern. So I've kind of paused. I'm working it on size 7. I have like a fairy godmother. That's not true. It's my mother. I found these in a tool, like my box of supplies. And these are Addy Turbo Laces in a size 7. And I think I always saw them. I was like, oh, what are these ugly gold needles, before I knew that they were what they were. And now I realize they're just like Addy needles that she left behind. And I must have somehow like shuffled them into my stuff when we were moving out of their place here in Wyoming. So I got to give these back to her. I'm not like a total butthole. I'm not going to steal her beautiful needles, but she knows I have them. I didn't lie to her. I told her, I was like, hey, I found these Addies. Are these yours? I'll give them back to her. Excuse me. So that's what I'm working on here. I just don't know. Excuse me. Ugh. I don't know if maybe the yarn is more exciting than the pattern, and it deserves to be something better. You know, it could be a really beautiful, I don't know. I got to think about this. But this yarn, I just couldn't be happier with it. So if you're interested, apparently the Crazy, like they're all just different. I wasn't sure if it was going to be self-striping in short runs. I just had no idea. So happy with this. But other than that, it was just not a lot to choose from, but very nice owners at that place. So that's kind of the extent of our store experience in Michigan. Kind of a bummer. Meanwhile, when we were in Fort Collins this weekend, I went into perhaps the greatest yarn store I have ever been in. But I will talk about that in just a bit. Yeah. So next up, I guess I'll talk about what I'm working on. I don't really have any finished objects to show, and that's because I have way too many in the works right now. So the biggest thing is that I decided, I knit at such a pace that I feel like I'm churning out these shawls like crazy, which I love. It's my favorite thing to work on. But then I'm like, what am I going to do with 20 shawls? Incidentally, they are, you see right above my head right there? That's where they are because I don't even know where to put them. So if you guys have a really lovely way of storing your shawls, I would appreciate you sharing it with me because I need something better than like folded up on a bookcase. So I decided I wanted to start making sweaters and socks. So I know a lot of people are into socks right now, but I like, maybe I'm alone in this. I don't wear like kooky socks that go up to my knees. Like they don't fit me well. They look weird. It's just not, like, what am I going to do with them? I'm going to make these like adorable socks and then I'm never going to wear them. So I finally rationalized like, okay, dummy, make socks you're actually going to wear. So that's what I've started doing. So they might still be like really cute yarn, but I'm not going to make these like crazy knee-high socks that I have absolutely no use for and will never wear. So I have a pair of socks that I'll show you guys in a bit. But I wanted to make a sweater. And I mean, there's no like delicate way of saying this, but I am not a small person. And to get the amount of yarn and time needed to make a suitable sweater is like no small investment, time-wise or money-wise. The other thing is, I keep trying to like, there we go. So there's no clear, but then I look like a weirdo. If you were to look up the definition of a pear shape, like that's me. I'm like, boom. And I have no idea how I'm going to size a sweater so that it fits well on top. And I'm not gonna like stand up. I have pajama pants on right now. I know you can do a lot with like shaping and darts and all that good stuff, but you know, traditionally a sweater size is done by like bust size or maybe shoulder size. And you know, bust, shoulder, no big deal. Like make like an extra large, I'm good to go. But with my hips, I just like, if I were to size something to my bust, like no way. If I were to size something to my waist, not my waist, like my hips, it's just going to be massive up top. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. But I decided to just start making a sweater. And, you know, one would think if you're going to make your first sweater, you should start like raglan, seamless, in the round, simple, pullover. No. I found this pattern. I think it's called Ivar. I will insert a photo of it right here. Okay, so beautiful. It's it's part of a collection from Brooklyn Tweed, and it has all these lovely details. Guys, this entire thing is seamed, like pieced. So you knit like the back, the front right, front left, you knit I think even the arms are knit flat and then seamed. And I just finished telling you that I so badly cannot sew that I don't even want to like seam together a blanket. And I decided that I was going to start working on a sweater that was entirely pieced together. And I guess like the way I learn new things is to just like pick a project and like tunnel vision, barrel through, assume it's going to work out. And then hopefully at the end of things, I have learned a new skill. So it is on. This is a go. We are doing like full on sweater here. So I have the back finished and I will show you guys. It has this nice thick rib. This is actually the bottom. This is knit on, I did it on a size 3 and I used those, my Addy Turbo Lace, which is lovely. And then it has this cable detail, which goes up either side of the back. And then you kind of do some shaping for the shoulder. And then here's where like, I feel like the dimensions, I didn't size to my waist. I kind of like went in the middle and hoped that it would just work. But I look at this, like, this is for the shoulder, like, okay, so it actually goes like this is the underarm, and the arm, I feel like this looks really big. So I don't know. I mean, I just don't know how this is gonna work, but there's the back. It's done. This is, I didn't say, this is Knit Picks palette. So I'm working on the front as well. This is one of the front sides. I'm doing this on my Knit Picks interchangeables. And this is that Knit Picks palette, which I have showed you guys before. I bought this planning to make like a shrug for a wedding that I was going to be a bridesmaid in, and then she changed plans and decided to get married in Hawaii, so you don't need sweaters in Hawaii. So I have this on hand. I have plenty. It's not, you know, I feel like when people talk about yarn, they talk about, like, the first thing they say is like how soft the yarn. This is not like a soft yarn. It's kind of like grippy. It's 100% Highland wool. I know that much. It's a fingering weight. And I think it's going to make like a nice casual hard wearing sweater. So my hope is that if I size towards kind of like my hips, I'll end up with this like cool slouchy grandpa sweater and not like a knit sack. But who knows? I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. So this is my biggest in progress that we got going on right now. I'm going to jump around a little and I'm going to show you guys the biggest addition to my stash because it's related to all this. Oh, this is what, the reason I wanted to talk about this is what I worked on in the car when we drove back to Michigan. So duh, that's what, like, the chain that's tying all this together. So this was my car project. Throw this aside. So I told you guys my stash has gotten so big, but I didn't spend that much money. And that is because my mom, I talk about her all the time. She's the best. She let me just like dig through her yarn stash. And it's so funny. We ended up going to these 3, like, I don't want to say horrible, but like not great yarn shops. And then she lets me dig through just like her own yarn room. And guys, it's like the best yarn shop I've ever been in. It's like my mom's own attic. So let me, it's this entire thing. And I even got more over here. So holy stash for real. I'm just going to start grabbing stuff and show you guys what she let me take. So this is Juniper Moon Finley. I've actually shown this before. I think there's one like behind me there. But we were talking about this. I think I saw one at one of the yarn shops and she was like, oh, don't buy that. I have one. So this color is called Frog's Back. I've mentioned before, this is a lace. It's 798 yards, 50% merino wool and 50% silk. So this is beautiful. I hope the colors aren't great right now because it's so dark, but this is like, can you see? It's like blues, grays, greens, even a little cream. Really, really beautiful. So there we go. I'm very excited about that. And then, I don't even know a good way to do this. So this is actually another project I have in the works. I told her I was into socks, so she had this. This is just patents, but I see people talking about this sock yarn all the time. So it's Patents Croy socks. It's a 4-ply. It is 75% washable wool, 25% nylon. So that's a good blend for socks. I think this color is called Flax. So I told you I had my those cubics in progress, and that is on this sock right here. So this is the project that I took in the car when we drove to Cheyenne this weekend. So this is, the pattern is called Hermione's Everyday Socks. And, you know, I wasn't really sure. I wasn't, the first few rounds, I was like, what's the big deal? Why are people so obsessed with this? But it's making this really lovely, I mean, it's coming across beautifully on screen, this really lovely texture. And so this is the heel flap right here, and then I got to do the turn at the bottom, and then we'll do the gusset. So what I did is only make it, you know, kind of like a mid-calf, high ankle, low calf height, and I think that for me, that's going to make it really wearable. So this is going to be great. The needles have been, I've been pretty pleased with them. A 1.5 is quite small. I think the smallest I'd ever worked on before was a 2. It's quite small, and I'm not sure, you know, I changed a lot of variables at once. I went to like really small needles. These are literally, they're square shaped, and then they're metal as well, but I did notice, let me see if I can show you. I noticed that my ribbing was particularly like lovely. Not to like toot my own horn, but I normally, when I do like a 1x1 rib, it normally gets a little like I mean, it's really hard to keep it nice and tidy, and this is like lovely. So I think that we can give all the credit to the needles on that one, or maybe it's the needle yarn combo. I don't know. So this is going well. I just have one, and then the second ball will be for the second one. So she gave me these, and then let's see what else we got. This is, I think with this one, she had already done like, I don't just steal all her yarn. I think that she had already finished with this, and she used it to make a shawl, and this was just one she had left over. So this is, I don't know what it's called, but it says with Angora, and it's obviously a sock. It is 50% merino, 20% Angora, 30% polyamide, so like that's like nylon. It is 420 meters, just really soft. It's got this great mix of blues. Beautiful. So I don't know if I'll do a shawl or if I'll do socks with this, but this is just lovely. It's so soft. Lovely. And then, I mean, there's so much more. We're not even close. This one might be one of my favorites. So this, I saw it and I was like, whoa, that's beautiful. And she was like, oh, just take it. I think that one of her friends was going through their stash and just like gave it to her, and then she passed it to me. So we're just passing this along. So this is, it's got this beautiful range of blues, and then this like a gray green, and then this green brown color. Really, really lovely. This is by Macintosh Yarn. It's called Sky Sock. It is 100% merino. The colorway is called Muddy Waters. 368 yards per skein. And then it's hand washed cold or machine washed cold and lay flat to dry. So there is, there's that. My nails are a disaster from the training we went to. We like rode all these ATVs, so my nails are a disaster. Sorry about that. I'm also sunburnt. I don't know if you can tell. I got really sunburnt from being outside in the sun all day on Thursday. So I'm really pink all over it. That's why. Yeah, so we got this. Beautiful. I don't know if I were to do a shawl, I don't know that this is enough alone, but how pretty would it be to do like this and then like use the leftovers to do a lace trim? And I mean, these actually go together really well. Who knows? So we got that. And then, okay, so now we're gonna go to the big ones. I told her that I was interested in working on sweaters, and she just had like extra sweater quantities of yarn. I mean, I was like blown away. The whole time I was like, really? Seriously? Just beautiful. So I've told you guys before that I don't really care for red, and I have not changed my opinion on that. But she was done with this. I mean, it looks like crazy neon red on screen, but it's actually like kind of like a ruby red, and then some orange and a little bit of cranberry and magenta. This is Knit Picks Stroll Fingering. And I think what happened here is that there is, I think she said maybe there's like a different Knit Picks yarn she was thinking of that is half as large. So she's already made a full sweater with this, and this is just what she had left over. Amazing. So this is a hand-painted fingering weight. There are 462 yards each. And I got 1, 2, 3. So that's like right around 1,900 yards. I mean, that's total sweater quantity. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the red's going to work. I feel like I'm like a very pink person, and I don't know if I can pull off red I have no idea. But this is like, I mean, it seems very nice for just being plain old Knit Picks. But I happen to think that Knit Picks is great no matter what anybody on Ravelry tells you. So I got this, like an entire sweater quantity. Just amazing. And then the last, oh, she gave me some fiber. Let me see if I can even find it here. So this is, I'll pull this out. She gave me this fiber. It's 100% Coopworth. And this, I got like this far into spinning and I was like, no, not into this at all. It's very like hairy. I know that sounds so weird, but it's almost like you're spinning somebody's like hair and not like this like lush, soft, wiry. Maybe that's the word. So, but I mean, at least let me get started with my drop spindle. So there's this. This was just like, just an ounce or so, maybe a little more. So I tried that. And then the last thing is, I mean, you guys are just, she had, I mean, this is literally 10 balls of Knit Picks City Tweed DK. And then, look at this, 20 of them. I mean, yeah. So when we were looking at this in her room, it's like, it's upstairs and it was a little dark and we were there at night. And I thought this was like a charcoal-y gray or like kind of like a gray brown. But now that I'm looking at it, it's actually like a really pretty, I would call it like a French blue, like a gray blue. City Tweed is what it's called, DK. The color is called Porpoise. And I think it's coming across really well on screen. It's like a, yeah, just this beautiful medium gray blue. It's got these great little tweed bits all through it. And then I'm going to insert a picture right here of the pattern that I'm thinking about doing. So you guys see that really pretty, well, first of all, that like cap, no, I cannot pull off a cap sleeve. It would look so horrible. No way. So I would convert it to a long sleeve. But that really pretty lace panel in the back, she had this. This is, it's a different brand, but it's Elspeth Levold Silky Wool. It is also a DK weight. 45% wool, 35% silk, 20% nylon. So it's a different makeup, but it's a DK. And it's got this similar ply. And I'm wondering if these two, with like this in the lace and this for the primary sweater, I think that could be really beautiful. So that's definitely the plan here. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Just amazing. And if I don't use all this, I mean, I will definitely give it back. I'm not going to just steal all her yarn. So there's that. This is so long. I already know that it is, but I want to talk about spinning and show a few other projects that I am working on at the moment. So when I couldn't find fiber at any of those, my hair is going crazy. When I couldn't find fiber at any of those stores that we went to, I took myself to the internet, as we all do. And I found this store. I mean, I find Etsy to be really overwhelming. There's so many stores and so many have great reviews. So I just kind of like, this one looks good. And of course, by no means is this sponsored. Like, I bought this stuff myself. But the one that I found is called October House Fiber Arts. And look at how cute this is. She sent like this like little card and then this business card and then these little stitch markers. I mean, look at that little suite of packaging. How cute is that? So what I ended up getting was I'll just grab them. This is Wensleydale is the fiber. The color is called Dried Petals. This is, I think, is above my skill set. So I mean, it's setting aside for now. So really, really beautiful there. And then, I mean, the unfortunate thing is that I rationalized if I was buying one, I should just buy a bunch. So this is like, I mean, this might be one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Oh, they're all like packaged individually, which I think is great. This is 100% merino, combed, 4.6 ounces. Look at that. The color is called Pomme, and it's this just like beautiful range of pinks and grays and cream. This feels like a cloud. So, so, so beautiful. And then what I have actually broken into, I mean, I felt like maybe I should get better before I just start like ruining all this fiber. And then I was on Ravelry and people said you should always work with the best stuff that you can afford. And that's something that I vowed to do when we were talking about maintaining a proper stash. So I just went for it. This is 100% BFL, so that's blue face. I don't know if it's Leicester or Leicester. The color is called Blooming Fields. You can see there, this one I've already like taken apart because I've been working on it. And then here, I can't believe I'm sharing this. This is my spinning that I've been trying to do. So there we go. Guys, I taught myself how to knit. I just like Pinterest and YouTube. I taught myself how to knit, and I felt like I picked it up like reasonably. I mean, I work at it a lot, but it's one of those things that just like makes sense in my brain. Spinning makes me feel dumb. I have no idea if I'm doing anything right. I have been watching YouTube videos and asking questions on Ravelry, but I just like, there's no class locally that I can take, so I'm just kind of going for it, and I have no idea if I'm doing things well, if I'm even doing things right, but that is my first spin. I mean, it's beautiful yarn. I hope I don't ruin it. I hope I make something nice with it, but we'll see. The other thing is I mentioned, of course, we went to another yarn shop when we were in Fort Collins, and Alan actually went into this one with me because we wanted, we were both into the idea of me making something for his grandma, so I wanted him to help pick out the color. And what we found was this. It's already caked up. It's this like beautiful blue. It is, let me see. Where is it? I have this like drawer, like bowl full of labels. This is, so the store is called Your Daily Fiber. If you're ever in the Fort Collins area, this was beautiful store, great owner, like very approachable, but didn't loom the whole time. It was big, it was open. They had weaving, spinning, knitting, wheels, looms, drop spindles, tons of different fiber. Not necessarily a lot of brands that I'd heard of before, but still brands that I was interested in. And then they had this house dyed stuff. So this is actually dyed in-house. And this is 80% merino, 20% silk. And it has sparkle in it. So neither of us were super into the idea of sparkle, but this is like a great color for her. So now all these projects I have in progress have been set aside just to work on this. This is like the one and only project until it's done. And I finally decided that I was going to do another Henslow because so I love shawls. I love making shawls. I like wearing them. But I think that when I first started making shawls, I was like, what kind of old grandma wears like lace all the time. It felt like very old-fashioned to me, and I've since like obviously come around on it, and I think that they're great. And even though she is a grandma, she is not old in spirit, and I wondered if like this really intricate lace would feel like, I don't know, like where would she ever wear it? So I decided to just do Hensel. It's got this little bit of sparkle, which again is not something that we would normally pick, but I think it's working well, and it's really nice to work with. So I got this going right now. That's like number one project, the only project. And then I let myself get two things. I don't even know. They were beautiful. They happened. So the first thing is, I'll just pull them both out. I got this Phyllis silk. I've never heard of this before, but it is this beautiful, like somewhere between tan and dusty rose. It is German, 70% extra fine merino and 30% silk. There are 600 meters here. I don't know offhand how much that is, but it looks like just a ton. It's kind of like a pinky mushroom color. And the reason I got this is because it reminds me very much of Mano Still Uruguay Fino, which is what I used to make my first Follow Your Arrow shawl that I loved. But that had just a little too few yardage in the skein for what I really wanted. And this looked like very similar, but just more. So I wanted to try that out. And then the other thing I got was because it was local. It's called Mountain Colors Hand Painted Yarn. They're out of Montana. And this is 1,200 yards. It's called Harmony Mushroom. 50% wool, 50% silk, winter lace. So I feel like it's getting really blown out on screen because of the lights on in here, but it ranges from like a gray, cream, into like a little peachy orange, dusty rose. Really, really beautiful. Very excited about this. I want to make like a huge just wrap. I don't know if I'll do like a really wide scarf, just like a really wide one, kind of like pashmina style, or I'm not sure, but this will probably be like the next thing on the list as soon as I finish the blue right here. So I got this. I mean, great yarn shop. Can't say enough about these guys. This was fantastic. And that was the only one we went to in Fort Collins. So there is that. The last thing that I got, and then we will stop talking about all the things I bought, because whoa. I told you guys I was ready to do metal needles. And what I was just debating between was the carbons, which I've loved. I love them since I tried out that pair when I did the review. Oh, the cat. I heard him crying in the background. I didn't know he was going to come in here. Hey, Bex. Hi, kitty. I hope he won't cry. I was debating between the carbons and those Knit Picks Nova Platina. And then I got an email saying that carbons were 20% off. So I went for it. And I picked up the Carbons Interchangeable Deluxe set. This is what the packaging looks like. And then it actually comes in the case like this. This is actually what I'm using. I'm using the size 3 right here. I mean, I've already talked about carbons. You guys know how much I love these, but I'll just show really quickly what is in this set. So you get all these different cables, and then associated these little stoppers for if you want to take the needles off the cable, and the things to twist them tight. Oh, this is, oh, I didn't even know about this. These are, so if you take the needles off, you can hang these little size tags on here so you remember what you were using. And then we have a size 2.5 through 6 right here. And I got the 3s out. And then we have the size 7 through 10 here. So I got this 20% off. I knew I wanted them anyway. So as soon as I saw the sale, I was like, it is a go. Very excited. I'm still using my knit picks. Those have definitely, I mean, these guys right here. I get a lot of questions about good, hey Bex, say hi. Oh, he's being so sweet. He's sad that we were gone for 3 days. I'll cuddle with him as soon as this is done. He probably wants me to come back to my chair and work on knitting again so he can sit on my lap. I still use these, and as I was saying, get a lot of questions about what good needles are, and I feel like if you are on a budget, you want to upgrade from what you can get at like a basic craft store, and you want to try an interchangeable set, this is a great way to go. They're not perfect, but I've been using my set for 3, almost 4 years now. Love them. If you want to go further and you aren't on a budget, or you have been saving your pennies like I have for that premium needle set, I love the Addy Turbo Lace that I've talked about. I just have those in a fixed size, but I would imagine that the interchangeable is quite good as well. Hi, Bubba. He's so cute. Oh, come on. I should edit this out. The carbons or those knit picks, Nova Platina. I mean, all just awesome options. So, one last thing, and then we will, I mean, this is like the longest chat ever. We will wrap this up. Okay, guys, so we have been talking about different podcasts so much, and I feel weird even calling this a podcast because I always imagine podcasts being like the thing that you listen to through iTunes, and I thought, what is this? I thought of YouTube channels as something different than that, but everybody calls them podcasts, so rock on. That's what we're going to do. We wanted to talk about different podcasts, spinning, knitting, dyeing, all that kind of stuff. So I have my YouTube channel open right here, and I just wanted to talk about some of the ones that I'm watching and that I'm enjoying, and hopefully make some suggestions for you guys. So the first things first is what got me into podcasts was not knitting. I didn't even realize that there were knitting and spinning podcasts. So I started by watching beauty makeup, and the big ones there, I mean, I'm not going to say anything novel here that people don't already. Hi, Bax. He's not going to give up, guys. I'm not going to say anything novel here that people don't already know about. The biggest ones that I watch are Kathleen Lights, Jacqueline Hill, and Essie Button, and then by way of that, Essie Button Vlogs, and I think I actually like her vlog channel better than her beauty channel. It's Estee is her name, but she goes Essie. Her boyfriend Aslan, I can't pronounce it, and they're Greyhound Reggie, and they're adorable. I love it so much. And then from there, I started watching these unboxing videos for Knit Crate and Yarn Box. That's what it was, because I was coming up with that post around the holidays about different kinds of yarn clubs, and I started watching those unboxing videos, and I was like, what is this? It's like the first time I had seen knitting on YouTube that wasn't just instructional videos. And the first channel that I really found from there was Dana from Essence of Me. She's a blog as well, and you know, lately she's really she's gotten into quilting, which is very impressive, but she's not talking about knitting as much. So I haven't been watching as frequently, but I just just lay on my knitting. That's fine. Whatever keeps him from crying. Dana, she just has a good energy. She's like positive and just peaceful. She'll talk for like an hour and a half. She tells people just like settle in with your knitting. We're going to be here for a while. And I think for me, one of the biggest things that I've discovered is that there's so many podcasts for knitting. But for me, the things that draw me into somebody is the way that they come across on camera. It's about like, if I feel like I could just sit down and chat with them, then I'm in. So I'm not going to like list all the ones that I don't like, but there are some I'm trying to figure out how to say this like in a way that doesn't make me sound like a jerk. There's just, if I don't feel like a vibe with somebody, he's not giving up. If I don't feel like a vibe with somebody, then it's not really appealing to me. I want to find their voice and what they're saying really appealing. Hi, Bex. We're going to pause here. Okay, I'm back. I want to feel like I could sit down and have a chat with them. So for me, it's all about like the sound of your voice, the pace. I talk fast, so like the pace of the voice and that kind of thing is like, it either works or it doesn't. It's just like it's an immediate reaction. Like, do I feel like I like this person and we could hang out or not? So I don't know if that makes sense. So the ones that I watch are people who I feel are just like really good to listen to. I like the way that they chat. I like their style. There we go. So Dana from essenceofme.com. I think that's her blog name. She's Dana from Essence of Me. She's one of the first ones that I ever listened to. Really like it. I love hearing about her knitting, or about her quilting, but I of course wish that she would just talk about knitting all the time. Sorry. Next up, my knitting podcast soulmate. I sound like a creep saying that. Julie from Diary of a Yarn Snob. So she actually posted on my blog and we got to she was like, just come check out my podcast. And I did. And it was like, boom. You want to talk about like instant reaction. Do I think I would get along with this person? Yes. Julie, forever and ever, amen. I told her we should have a mutual appreciation society because I think that she is just the best. She has not been knitting all that long, I don't think, but she's like, I hope she realizes how phenomenal she is. She just like gets it. She's doing this like crazy advanced stuff and she's like 4 or 5 months into it. She uses beautiful yarns. I mean, she calls herself Diary of a Yarn Snob, so she's got great taste, beautiful stuff, love it. The other ones, these are all pretty popular. I'm going to like run down the list because you've probably heard of them, but they're ones that I'm enjoying. The other thing is if you go to my channel, which I will of course link below, or I'm sure you can click through from this video. I'm trying to make a sidebar called Knitting Podcasts, and I will line up the ones that I'm really liking right there. So Buckaloo View, she has a blog as well. I believe her name is Liesel. She's so like, just like has this lovely, calm energy, which is just great because I do not have that at all. And she committed to trying 3 and she did her 3 and I thought that they were beautifully done, great, but I don't know if she's going to do any more, but I'm a big fan of those 3 and I hope that she does do more. There's Junkyarn with Kemper. I'm sure that everybody has seen that. Again, fantastic energy. Love what she talks about. We have the Yarngasm podcast. I think that's Kristen from Bull and Vine Yarns. She is a dyer out of Brooklyn, New York. Love it. She has like tons. I mean, she must have been doing this longer than any of us. Like 148 or something podcasts up so far. And then a Homespun House. Love her as well. Truly Myrtle, who does not podcast all that often. I think she does it like once a month, and I wish that she just did it every day. She needs to do more. And then the other thing is there are a bunch that I follow because I watch maybe like just either they're brand new to my list, I've subscribed to them, but I can't really comment on them yet, or they I watch their unboxing videos. So let me click there. So Crochet Ever After. I'm not really big into crochet, but if you are, she does a ton of tutorials. She does unboxing videos. Yarn Talk is a brand new one, and it is Heidi from Hands Occupied, which is a blog that I really enjoy. She just posted a video maybe like 2 or 3 days ago. So I don't know if she was a guest on this or if it's going to be brand new. I'll try and do like a scrolling list of these so as I breeze through them, you can hopefully catch them. There's Sara Wright, honestly, brand new subscription, haven't seen it yet, but we'll see. Same with Susan B. Anderson, I believe is quite popular, but I just subscribed to her. Mandarins, beautiful patterns. I follow her on Instagram. And then, oh, SE button. Little Bobbin Knits, I know is quite popular, but is very new to me. And then Freckled Whimsy, Fuzzy Love Knots. Jen likes yarn. I started watching Jen for her unboxing videos for Knit Crate. Oh, I know that I have more. Give me 1 second. My subscriptions. Let's see if I can figure this out. 22 subscriptions. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, so Essence of Me I talked about. I thought I had more, guys. Maybe I've lost the list. I tried to organize into like a beauty list and then a knitting list, and I think maybe I messed something up in the process. But I will just list out a bunch of them that I'm really into, and then please definitely share your suggestions of really great podcasts. There are some, I've been finding some people through Instagram, honestly. But maybe I haven't watched all that many of their videos yet, so I don't know them offhand, but those main ones, I mean, Homespun House, Buckaloo View, Diary of Yarn Snob, Essence of Me, and then Truly Myrtle, Yarngasm are like my big go-tos. Those are definitely my favorite. So I would love to hear what you guys are listening to, what you guys really like. And then I have so much more. I could just go on for forever, but we just got to stop because I'm sure that this is already well over an hour and I got to hang out with my cat. So as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for being patient as I just like ramble on forever and ever at 10 o'clock at night. I will include some links for how you guys can find me easier on Instagram, Ravelry, all of that good stuff. Baxter says goodbye, and so do I. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.